a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing, and being that consumer advocate day to day for you, helping you as a consumer advocate, making you more street smart here on the show. We do that by bringing on all types of great expert contributors on the program. And we've got Mark Haye in the house, 21st Century Financial. We're going to talk about backdoor Roth. We're going to also talk about side hustle and the economy. Of course, we're going to dive deep into that. Patrick Highland as well joining us, the sports guys. You hear him on the weekends here on the Sports Guys Show, veteran benefits as well, coming up there on the program. I want to invite you as well. We have our gratitude party coming up here. It's going to be Thursday, July 18th, 6 o'clock over at Kingmakers, 3707 West Carmen Street in Tampa. Great opportunity to come out and fellowship, network, meet with some of our radio show partners, expert contributors, real estate team, catch up, talk about any type of challenges maybe you're having in your businesses or connections that you might want to make. It's a really cool incubator / co-workspace / almost like a sports locker room in a sense. He's got lockers in there and really cool spot. Mike Murphy put together Kingmakers. So that's our party coming up this Thursday, July 18. Come on over there, 6 o'clock. Food and drinks provided. Going to have a good time with you. And we hope to see you there. And yeah, coming off the DeSantis one day, Alex, that was a good trip, man. I went down Florida Keys, living in Tampa Bay, you're 6 hours, 5-6 hours from the Florida Keys. And you go down and you pull out some lobster and you cook them on the grill, throw some steaks on. We actually caught also some Florida snapper as well. Excellent, fun trip. And it's nice to, cook what you eat sometimes,
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. So
cook what you catch, I should say. Cook what you catch.
What was the vibe like? You guys rode out there? Was there a lot of boats, RVs? Like what did the scene look like?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, you could tell.
People?
You could tell it was like a special. You felt the ambiance there. You felt the energy. Like people were down there. These are, guys and gals that like to get in the water, Florida sportsmen. Yeah, and it was cool. You saw a lot of trucks. Traffic got a little slow because in a lot of places it's a one lane down there.
Mm-hmm,
we were just south of Marathon and Isla Morada. Just really cool down there.
That's really cool. How many people would you say were out there?
It's still to the point where when you go to certain spots, like if you have numbers on a GPS. You can go to spots. You can find what they call like the structure.
Yeah.
So we saw structure. Went down there. Would see the lobster sitting there. You'd stick them right into the bag. And there's other ways to do it. But we also went at night. So we went at night the night before, at midnight. Literally at midnight. That's day, cool. Boom. And we had lights on the boat. Unfortunately, it was too rocky, too windy, and it was stirred up. You couldn't really see the bottom. But sometimes you can see the bottom, and you can just net them from the boat.
Yeah, but people, though, participants, like how many people would you say were out there? Were tons of people out there enjoying it? Or?
There had to be hundreds, I would guess.
That's cool.
It's
just looking for a good Florida time, man.
Yeah, and it was so cool of DeSantis to do that, right? For Florida residents, the one day that we can go, but Georgia, South Carolina, everybody else, nope. They're Florida residents.
Well, hopefully it turns into a thing, man, and we can enjoy it every year.
I think so. I think it is. Mark, you ever did that?
No, but I'm looking forward to my invitation next year.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
I look forward to it every year. We got to do some kind of a radio show getaway.
Yeah.
So we'll write the whole thing off.
We were going to do a cruise on the 10-year. Ended up being too many days, and people were like, "Oh, if you did a 3-day cruise, I would go." But yeah, a trip to the Keys is fun. Man.
Radio show retreat.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down
I like
with that.
I like that. Mastermind. We'll call it a mastermind. Now we can write it off, right?
The whole thing.
There you go. That's right. So Mark Haye in studio with us as well. We're going to be talking about backdoor Roth. Give us a quick teaser, and then I got to get my properties in. What's
for those that make too much money, quote unquote, and they're told they cannot do a Roth IRA, it's actually false. So we're going to go through how you can do that.
So bad information given out by other advisors.
CPAs,
in a lot of cases.
advisors, right. Telling you, I can't do a Roth. I get it all the time. I can't do a Roth. I make too much money. Who told you that?
Right.
My CPA, my accountant, my advisor. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you can do a backdoor Roth. What's a backdoor Roth?
Yeah. Dude, it's amazing how much bad advice there is in all these different professions. Doing this show, working on just over 11 years now, it's just crazy because there is bad information, and then unfortunately that gets repeated. Well, they say like a bad falsehood, right? It gets repeated, then it becomes
and I like to give people the
folklore.
benefit of the doubt. Maybe ignorance is not a bad thing. It just means you don't know.
Right.
You know
you
what I
don't
mean?
know what you don't know.
Yeah. So you're just saying what you think you know. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but that's why you try to get multiple opinions and multiple people, and then you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. You get multiple opinions, and proximity is power. When you have the knowledge and you have those areas, you want to get close to people and understand more and find those ideas that could save you thousands. We've literally seen thousands saved on this show, missed opportunities where people missed out on, so you have that opportunity cost. All right, a couple of quick properties, and then we're going to come back here with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, coming up on the program. 221 Howard. This is one of my favorite listings here. Beautiful property, 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot, single family, Bel Air Beach beauty right here in Tampa Bay. Waterfront, you've got 100 plus feet of linear water frontage on deep water access. So you take your boat, your jet skis, and of course, you can also just walk right down the street and you're on the beach. Sugar Sand Beaches, dolphin-filled waters, $3 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, beautiful property. You got gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, and just beautiful curb appeal right here. Updated bathrooms, just a beautiful home here. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square feet. Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. 3101 Old Archer Road. This is a great opportunity. Any Florida Gator fans out there, we've got 1 mile to the stadium. You're 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical. Old Archer Road. We've got 90 units, pre-construction luxury condos available for sale. This is Gainesville, Florida. Pre-construction pricing for a limited time, 10% off. Now, these condos are starting in the 400s, the low 400s, up to the high 900s. Great opportunity to buy a rental income property and let students, potentially maybe your kids, go and live there during their schooling days. And then don't rest assured, there's no short-term restrictions in place, so you can rent this short-term as well if you wanted to do Airbnb. 3101 Old Archer Road, Unit 209, Gainesville, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Mark Haye in the house, 21st Century Financial, also published author. And how's the book sales going? You getting the books
good.
out
I'm
there
actually working on the second one right now. So
sweet.
Yeah, hopefully have it done. I don't know if it's going to be done by the end of the year, but it's a lot more work because I'm doing a lot more into it.
Yep.
So, but it's good. I mean, I like it because it just kind of keeps me on top of everything, and I just constantly researching and thinking, and that meditation, and I like it.
Do you work with a ghostwriter?
I do not. I'm just kind of mind dumping things I want to do. Then I'll have somebody go through it, proofread it. You know what I mean? Make sure it all makes sense, and I'll go back to it. So it takes a while, but I do like it. I like the process.
Yeah, I was the type I have to use a ghostwriter on something like that. I set aside an hour a week. Let's talk about it. I'll give you the ideas and the concepts, and we'll put them into play. But it's challenging.
It's hard.
You're doing a full-time deal, and now you're but you're writing a book. But I think it's cool because you can utilize it. It's almost like if you picture your 4-burner stove. You're just kind of, this pot's going back here, but I got it. It's in a good pace. We're doing our pace here. This one's a little bit more urgent. So you kind of operate it that way.
And my philosophy of advising and finance is a lot different than most people. So for somebody to ghostwrite it might be a little difficult, because I'm big on cash flow, not accumulation. So that's different. And how do you achieve the cash flow instead of waiting 30 years to do that? So, it's just a different philosophy. So it's hard for someone to come in and write about that if they're not used to that. You know what I mean?
Well, I tell them what to say. Like, they send me the version. I'm like, I like what you did here, but no, go back to what I did.
I got you. Yeah. I got you. I appreciate that.
No, yeah, it's all good, man. But when you think about our audience too, man, I love the fact that they really dig our segments, man. They're listening, they're tuned in, and the response is awesome. I love that. It's one of my favorite parts of this show is having that unique relationship with our audience and our listeners. And when they call and text in, that really just kind of hits you in the heart a little bit because people really want to have these questions answered.
Yeah, and I think that people want to take control of their lives and want to be in control of this. I think they're finding out that this whole 401k thing isn't working. We know there's a 1% chance that it's even going to work now, at 65, 67.
Yeah.
And so instead of just relying on that and then finding out too late that it doesn't work, people want to take control of their life today,
right?
Not wait 30 years from now to enjoy it, but let's do it today and enjoy our lives. At the same time, be responsible. But how do we do that? And I think we've had a lot in the last couple of months because we've gone through 101 tax deduction for business owners. We've gone through real estate, how to utilize real estate in their portfolio and offset taxes. And we've had a lot of people calling in and just wanting that information, which just makes me believe that they want to take control of their lives and just not put it on auto and hope the government comes through, or Wall Street, when we know they don't,
Well, I think also too, it comes when you think about talk radio. And by the way, there's this push to get rid of AM radio, support AM radio. And we're on 93.7 FM as well. But the point is broadcasting. But there's this in America, there's this sense of, man, I feel like the government's lied to me. I feel like the mainstream, lamestream corporate media lies every day. I feel like but when you go to talk radio, it just seems that much more real, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't listen to anything mainstream. I do AM, I'll do a podcast. I can't remember the last time I turned on a news channel.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't care who it is, Fox, CNN, I don't care. I just have not turned it on.
Right.
But I do listen, to podcasts or I go on and just do my own research and see what's happening. But it's not really hard to figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even true. I mean,
sure.
But it's crazy how people just believe it. Like when you hear something on the news and then they're like, oh, yeah, that happened. This is, and I'm like, no, it didn't. Like, how do you not know that A or B didn't happen? Just because they said it doesn't mean it's real. Or the biggest thing is, oh, it's on the internet. Well, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true then. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, we've said it before as well. Like all mainstream media now, they are more about being first than being correct.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this past the horrific event at the Trump rally where there was the shooting, or the Republican convention, and before they actually pinpointed the name of who the shooter was, I saw two other names first. Like if you were like tracking and it was showing up in your feed. So I mean, these people were getting slandered, and it wasn't even the people. It just because people wanted to be first and wanted to break the news.
Well, corporate media, the challenge is to get people to critically think, and I think this is a thing that's starting in school. They're starting to spoon feed people ideas, and if you don't, and then it gets into that group think. If you don't think this way, then you must be an outlier, or you must be ostracized. So it starts younger nowadays too, with all of the conditioning. So then you get into the conditioning, but to have independent thinkers, people that can actually say, oh, well, the corporation that owns this is a multinational corporation that might have some interest in Ukraine. I wonder if I should look into that. So anyways, we're getting a little down a bunny trail here, Mark, but when you think about bringing that back to finances, I'm sure when you're reading technical articles, sometimes you're like, and the same thing I do in real estate, you're like, that's not even true.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing that you talked about. You're indoctrinated from a kid.
Yeah.
Let's talk about finance. What are you indoctrinated with? Go get a mortgage, buy a house, put your money in a 401k, lock all your money up till you retire. Then someday, one day you can live that life. That's what everybody's taught, and including myself, when I was young, and I thought that's what you did. You put an IRA, 401k, and that's how you have wealth. But then you find out the tax code is the wealth, and once you start hanging out with people that have big incomes or assets or monies, or businesses, then you find out, well, how you doing it? And they just go through their tax deductions. And you're like, wait a second, I can deduct all this instead of expensing it? Yeah, you can deduct travel this. I'm like, what? I mean, that's big money. You're not doing that in mutual funds, Wall Street. Right. I mean, we're talking tens of thousands, $100,000 a year of savings just on taxes and living your life and then taking advantage of that tax code. So I was the same way, but as soon as you learn that, wait a second, these people that are like an Elon Musk, he's been in the news a lot lately, he pays next to nothing in taxes and people rip him. But instead of ripping him, why don't you learn how he's doing that? He's obviously not doing it illegally or he'd be in jail, right? So how is he doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so he's not taking any income from his business. Well, how does he do it? He takes a loan. Okay, so what's a loan? Loan's tax-free. Then the business pays the loan back. They get to write off the interest on that loan, and he gets tax-free income.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
I love hearing those stories, too. Like, growing up in a small town, you reconnect with old friends here and there, right? You hear these stories, and you're like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so? Yeah, he's very wealthy now, owns a plane, has a very big, and so people are doing these people can make money in America, and that's why people want to die and come across crazy border trips, anything they can do to get here because of the land of opportunity. But it's interesting. A lot of times people that are born into it take it for granted, Mark.
100%. I mean, I'm so thankful to be an American. I mean, where else are you going to be? Yeah. You know what I mean? That you can have this lifestyle that you want to have and create. You can do unlimited opportunities. And I know we're just talking about Elon, but the guy that owns Amazon just had Bezos. His big yacht's been all on the news. This big giant yacht he bought, and it cost $25 million a month or something to maintain. Something crazy, some stupid number.
Yeah.
But he's not just expensing that. That's all deductible.
Yeah.
He can say that yacht is my second home. He's going to expense all the gas, all this. He has parties. I mean, so the guy's worth tons of money. It's just a matter of taking advantage of the tax code and then making yourself wealthy with that. Now he owns this asset. He eliminates the tax burden. He gets to enjoy it and then gets to write off the whole trip every time he takes it out.
727-263-3707. Call or text any questions you have, financial questions, real estate questions, any type of question. 727-263-3707. That is the hotline. ConsumerQB.com as well. You can submit an email form right there at ConsumerQB.com, and it really makes our day. Mark Haye in the house, Brandon BRimes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Alex BlackBelt Lima as well. We're going to talk more coming up here after the break about this backdoor Roth and other deductions, other ways to get creative in your finances to help you live a better life here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon BRimes1 at CQB Show, and please subscribe to the YouTube and Rumble channel. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon BRimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon BRimes, your consumer advocate, helping you win in any marketplace. In studio, Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, talking about your finances, ways you can live a better life, avoid commission-based advice, and making you more street smart on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Rudder Way in Newport Richey. This is a really cool opportunity. Attention builders, investors, developers, smart money play here. I want to get your opinion on this, Mark. If you look at 10.12 acres of vacant land, residential style, you're surrounded by residences here too. So you've got zoning that allows R12 for flexible development opportunities, options. You have a rare opportunity, 10.12 acres, prime waterfront piece of property here, 3.9 acres of uplands. So you do have some lowlands, uplands to contend with there. So essentially, you're looking at a smaller development than you might think for 10 acres. But hey, a great opportunity. Gulf direct access. This is inside a community, gated community as well. Beautiful property here. Beachfront. Great opportunity. Rudder Way, Newport Richey, Florida. Vacant land for sale from the Platinum MVP team. 7919 7th Street North, St. Pete. Another great opportunity here. Now, we have a single-family home, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, plus a bonus room, just shy of 1,300 square feet. Beautiful property here in St. Petersburg, Florida. One of the hottest zip codes in all of Tampa Bay. 7919 7th Street North, St. Petersburg, Florida. Beautiful property here. You have a closed-in porch full of sunlight, brick street. That is in the highly sought-out historic Uptown District, 7 blocks from Central Avenue in the downtown city of St. Petersburg. Great opportunity to own real estate, updated kitchen in 2018, stainless steel appliances, and more. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, back to Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial. The floor is yours, Mark.
Yep. So we were just going to talk about backdoor Roth, and all that means is people that make too much money can't contribute to a Roth. And so other advisors and CPAs and accountants will always come back and say, oh, they can't do it. They make too much money. Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. One, you can convert your IRA into a Roth, and there's no limit to converting. So if you have $1 million in an IRA and you want to put it all in a Roth, you could do that all in 1 year. Obviously, your tax bracket is going to go up to the highest, but you can do that.
Okay.
So if you want to do what's called a backdoor Roth, and if you make $150,000 as a single person or $250,000 as married people, you can't do a Roth. That's what you're going to be told. But you can contribute to an IRA at unlimited income. So if you could put $8,000 into an IRA, all you're going to do is put a non-deductible $8,000 contribution into your IRA. Then the next day, we're going to convert that to a Roth. And then that's how you get into a Roth, quote unquote, backdoor Roth, and any income limit can do it now. So you just got to be creative and know this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can't do a Roth, but we could backdoor it. You know, we could put money into an IRA, non-deductible, turn around and put it right into the Roth, and then you've just converted it into a Roth. You can do unlimited conversions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So then you could take advantage of that Roth being tax-free and tax-free to you and in retirement, et cetera. And this is another reason why wealthy people put as much money as they can inside cash value, because now there's no limit. And you could, instead of put $8,000 a year, you could put $800,000 a year. You know what I mean? So there's no limit to it, because a lot of times these high-income people, let's say a married couple makes $500,000 a year, and they're like, well, what's $8,000 a year going to do for us? I mean, we need income.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we want it tax-free. Well, we can do a Roth at $8,000, but we could also do cash value and how much you want to put away. We want to put $250,000 away in. Great, put it in there, and then now it grows tax-free, comes out tax-free, stays liquid. So those are two vehicles you can use. One, you just got to get creative with, because the government's involved. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think that's the key, is getting creative, getting a start, getting a review. I think it starts with a review in a lot of cases, because as Mark just said, the advice that he's hearing that from is from other professionals, other CPAs. You might as well get a review of your taxes, get a review of your financials. Where are you putting your money into? Where are your hard-earned dollars going to rest for 10, 15, 20, 30 years in some cases, right? So Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to the hotline. We'll put you right in touch, 727-263-3707, online at consumerqb.com. You can call in and we'll put you right in touch with Mark. Also online as well, Mark?
Yeah, xxifinancial.com, and then you can certainly text me at 727-804-7220.
Text them direct. There you go. Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial. Always good ideas, man. I love the side hustle idea, too. That's another one where you start that side hustle. You get some income coming in, even if you're W-2'd, or specifically if you are W-2'd.
is perfect.
Do it. Get it started.
And real estate is a side hustle.
There you go.
Investment property.
That's it. There you go. Buy that land. Buy that rudder land. Throw some single families on it. Take a risk.
Yep.
Risk comes reward.
You got it.
Mark Haye in the house.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. All right, coming up, Patrick Highland on the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Sports Guys radio show. He is on the weekends here, longtime friend of the program as well. Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com. You can submit an email there, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
And we're back. Brandon BRimes here in studio with us. Joining us in studio, Patrick Highland. You hear him on the Sports Zone. He's Sundays 11 to 12. And we're going to talk with him about veteran benefits as well. That's his job on the insurance side, veteran benefits, talking about that. And a little bit of sports. We'll get into some sports too. coming up here on the show. Quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties, commercial, residential. He's also a handyman. So I know sometimes you got that honey-do list. You can't get to all of it. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Please let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Home and office cleaning, handyman service, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. All right, hot listing here on Croft Drive in Largo. This one is 13651 Croft Drive North in Largo, Florida. We're down there close to that Sea Robin Drive as well. There's a couple in St. Pete that are very close. This one's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 1,066 square foot. You're minutes from Indian Rocks Beach. Gorgeous property. Looks like a complete remodel here. Beautiful property, lighter colors. You have curb appeal on the front side, nice lawn. Kitchen has stainless steel appliances, white cabinet, spacious island as well. 13651 Croft Drive North, Largo, Florida. Let's look at Gulf Boulevard. We just did a price improvement here at 18522 Gulf Boulevard. This one is Unit F, Indian Shores, 3 bedrooms, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot condo on the beach. You're on the sugar sand beaches and dolphin-filled waters of beautiful Pinellas County. Private 2-car parking area, granite countertops, mosaic backsplash. Beautiful property here, multiple balconies. So if you look out one balcony, you're looking at the Intercoastal Waterway, checking out all the boats cruising by, Tom Stewart Causeway there. You look out the other way, and you're looking at the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful beachfront property. We just did a price improvement down to $999. Great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Just under $1 million. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. So, Patrick, I clicked that song on purpose. That's my transition song. That's for the veterans out there. They're out there saving our ass every day, working hard. And, man, our debt of gratitude cannot go deeper.
Brandon, without them, freedom isn't free, brother.
That's right.
It's not cheap, and it's very expensive, especially in today's world. So
Land
God bless
of the
our
brave.
veterans. They do so much for us. I think it's time to do something for them. They're willing to take a bullet for us. I think we need to be willing to do some things for them.
Absolutely, man.
So
I love
I'm
it.
a big proponent. You know, I love talking sports, 11 to 12 on Sundays here on the station, and it's great. We have a lot of fun. But during the week, you know, I try to help out at least 1 to 2 veterans a week, either get their veterans benefits more in line with their disability, either with their Medicare, either with any VA benefits they have coming. Let's get it for them. A lot of guys now from the Vietnam era are having to go into assisted living facilities or home health care. I can get them up to $2,000 a month to pay for that, so they don't have to just lose all their savings. And that's important. And, you know, you can't do your daily activities. You can't do things, Brandon. This is where we can really come in and help these guys out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You get to a point where you can't do it all yourself. And I think for veterans, for, you know, especially a lot of the you know, the macho type guys out there that, you know, it's like, hey, I don't want to give up that freedom. Or what I was going to ask you and ask you that question is, what do you see the most with veterans? Are they just not knowing certain programs that are available? What's your comment?
That's exactly it. They don't realize now that if you're on TRICARE, you can still keep your TRICARE and your Medicare and get a Medicare Advantage plan. Why wouldn't you do that? If you're paying $175 a month for Part B premium, and I can get you back $165 of that, why wouldn't you do it? And you still use the TRICARE. Now, if you use somebody outside the network, there's always a catch to everything. But you have to send the bill to TRICARE and they reimburse you.
Got it.
So to get $2,000 there and to get you $100 a month to Publix for groceries, there's another $1,200. It's over $3,000 savings. I can help out these veterans or anybody else listening that is Medicare eligible. But I have a soft spot for my veterans and I go for them immediately. But that's, you know, there's so many added benefits. And then the Veterans Aid and Attendance benefits, they don't realize as long as you serve during wartime, you are covered with this benefit. Everybody thinks, well, I never set foot on Vietnam soil. Doesn't matter. Soon in our lifetime, Brandon, you're going to have guys that were in the Gulf War. Guess what? They'll qualify even if they didn't set foot in the Middle East. So this is why people think one thing, find out the information on the other. I just helped out a guy 65 years of age. Okay. He was electrocuted while he was in the service. Like you just said, tough guy. Okay.
Yep.
Didn't want to say anything. Well, now he's feeling it. So now we have him getting checked out at the VA and a independent facility to check him out and see how much his disability is. So we'll see what rating he gets, and that will help him out with some money because obviously he can't work like he used to.
Yeah.
So he's not making the same amount of money. If we can subsidize that with a pension, let's do it for the guy.
Yeah.
It's just things we have to do for our veterans and help out people. You're a big proponent of helping out the vets too. I know you get with mortgage guys and real estate guys and find them homes with very little down, if anything down, and then you find them a great mortgage rate too.
Yeah.
And then you find them a house they can afford that maybe their spouse or a family member can help them out if they do need that home health care. So you do a great job with that, Brandon.
Well, thanks, Patrick. I appreciate that. We're talking with Patrick Highland here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Sports Zone is his show that you hear on the weekends. And Greg Tiley, for example, you were just mentioning, because he is big proponent. He was an Apache helicopter pilot. He's a veteran. He helps out on the mortgage side with all of our listeners and team from the Platinum MVP team. But it was interesting because he was talking specifically about veterans. That's his wheelhouse as well. That's his niche, really helping out other veterans. And he was saying some of these stats. He was rattling off some stats, Alex. I don't know if you remember, but one of them was like 33% of veterans didn't even realize they can use the VA certificate up to 100% or something like that.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous number. I remember that.
It was, when you heard the number, I was like, whoa, can you say that again? Because it's pretty crazy. That is really the key that we're battling here in this proverbial fight to help our veterans is the unknown, right? And the misnomers, right?
Everybody, it's lack of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I always say it, if you don't plan, you're going to be a failure. It's the old saying, hey, you fail to plan, that's what you're going to get, Nobody wants to fail. It's about planning the right things for the right reasons at the right times.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you're going to be behind the 8 ball. And I feel sorry for anybody that way. And it's always easy. It's like with you selling homes. Hey, man, I want to buy that home on the water, and I don't want to get property and casualty insurance on it. Really, Patrick? Yeah. But when the hurricane comes, then I want to buy it. Guess what? It's a little late.
When it's in the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's an idea too. Here's a message. Because a lot of times the soldiers are depleted mentally. Their PTSD, there's issues. So this might even be for the person that's riding in the car right now that is a family member of that person, or even a friend, or maybe you even just know the guy through Facebook or something. You why not take action and just say, hey, call your friend and say, hey, I heard about this show, the Consumer Quarterback Show, and their consumer advocates, they're talking about helping veterans. Have you ever considered, or did you know that was possible? That would be a good action item.
It is. See, we need to start doing more of that, Brandon. Looking out for your fellow man, looking out for your fellow friend.
Yeah.
I know we get all busy and tied up, but just because what Brandon and I are talking about right now might not apply to you, more times than not, it's going to apply to a friend or a family member. And down the road, more than likely, it's going to apply to you. So all the information and knowledge you can get for yourself and also your friends and family, that's the way to be. And it's that simple. Keeping it real.
It's a different type of love. I love how the Bible talks about the different types of love, the brotherly love, the agape love, the different types of love. It's a love for your fellow man. And think about it. Sometimes you kind of know who they are. You may see somebody, sometimes you see people walking on the road a lot and you're like, oh, something's going there. Maybe he's on the spectrum. I'm not sure. Maybe I could help. But if you take action and you ask the questions, just open-ended questions, hey, how you doing today? Is there anything I can do to help you? Because I think a lot of times that's the issue there, right?
No question, Brandon. You said it perfectly. Not to, come across as Mr. Good Guy and pat myself on the shoulder, but just the last weekend, a guy was stuck right on 41 where I live up in Lutz, where your wonderful wife and you found a nice home for my wife and myself. And he's in the middle of the road. And I pull into Winn-Dixie and I go, no, I'm going to do something. So I run across the road and say, get in your car. And I push him push him into the Winn-Dixie and call AAA to get him taken care of.
Good for you.
See, that's what you do. And why did I do it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Because I hope to God somebody would do it for my son or for me down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the Lord wants, speaking about the Bible and what you should do. It's
that's
real
right,
simple.
Man. Yep.
It's not rocket science.
It's those random acts of kindness we talk about. Here's coming up later as well, our random act of kindness for the show. Pet Pirates, so it's removed 7 tons of trash from Hungarian lake in plastic picking competition. So there's a cool idea. That's our feel-good story of the day. But, yeah, we always talk about those random acts of kindness, doing something kind for one another. I want to pass the hotline here out and see if we get some calls, maybe from some folks that know of veterans, maybe family members or even the veterans themselves, because there's a lot of veteran benefits that you may not know about. And the number is 727-263-3707. You can call or text that line. It's an off-air number, 727-263-3707. consumerqb.com. You could submit the email form on the website as well. Of course, you could message us on social if you'd like to do that as well. And it's not a live call. We're not going to put you on the air. Sometimes, Patrick, I give out that number. I've had people say, hey, I'm not on the air, am I? Like, no, we wouldn't do that to you.
It's so true. People call my show on Sundays and say, hey, man, I want to talk to you off the air. I said, okay, I'll call you after the show. No problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's all. I mean, that's how you do it. But you made a great point. You always say this, and I say it myself, random acts of kindness, man. Just do it. And here's the other thing. You're talking about feel-good stories. It's funny, the salaciousness of somebody doing something bad. We'll talk about that for an hour.
Yeah.
But someone helps out another fellow man. We'll talk about it for a minute. I think we need to start changing that a little bit.
Balance it out.
Amen, brother.
You mentioned the military and one of the schools there as well, I believe. But it reminded me of J.D. Vance. You know, what an cool American story. The hillbilly elegy story in the movie, and just the overcoming the obstacles, the adversity, and then he is such a good pick. I really like that pick.
I do too, and I'll tell you why. It's funny. My wife is pretty independent. She looks at both sides of the coin, and she loves the guy. And I'm like, really? He's that good? She goes, yeah, he's going to be a good one. I said, wow. Yeah, she doesn't get into the politics thing, but she really digs him. And I said, you know, he's a good old hillbilly. I didn't know about the book. She goes, that's his book. I go, what are you talking about? and I go, that goes to show you that I don't care what you're born into. I don't care what your nationality is.
Exactly.
I don't care what your skin color is.
Yeah.
You can make something of your life in this great country,
Amen,
but you
brother.
have to make an effort. And that's what it's all about. And that guy proves it.
Yeah.
So please, I see too many people that have come from the bottoms to get to the top. It's all about making the choices. And even if you don't get to the top, you can make a nice life for yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Quit taking the entitlement side and the victim side.
Excuses.
And proactive and make something happen. We all get knocked around, baby.
Absolutely.
We're all going to get knocked down. Life isn't always, rainbows and, sunshine and, you know, whatever you want in life. It doesn't work that way. So you got to move forward. But, the arts veterans, again, talking about them, I'd love to help them out. Anybody listening, you need help with a veteran, either it comes with veterans benefits or their Medicare or any insurances, please give me a call at 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052.
Yeah, going back to the J.D. Vance thing for a second, one thing I found, because we're talking about good deeds and everything that we're speaking of is it has a lot to do with your moral compass and your character, right?
Yeah.
One thing that impressed me about him is at first I wasn't completely sold on him, and I read into his story and I was like, okay, and then but his ability to man up and to admit when he was wrong. Because at first he wasn't really like on Trump's side or whatever, but then after speaking to him, meeting him, seeing what he was doing for the country at the time, he was like, you know what? I completely recant that statement, man. And he went out and he apologized and he deleted everything negative thing that he had said. And that's something you don't often see in society is we see a lot of people pointing the finger, but we don't see people admitting, like, you know what, man, I made a bad call. It was out of character for me. I was incorrect. And I just want you to know that. And I do support you. I apologize. And we need more of that as a society, period.
Absolutely. Yeah. It takes a lot. It takes courage to do that.
It does.
I love
Nobody wants to admit they're wrong. Nobody ever wants to admit they're wrong.
The Aristotle quote that I love too is something to the effect of courage being the greatest of all virtues, because you can be so virtuous in all these areas, but if you don't step up and have the courage to say something, do something, be a part of it, then what good is it?
And that's the great thing about the military. A lot of guys try to skate when they do something wrong in the military, where if they would just say, Sergeant, you're right, I'm wrong, I apologize, I'll get better.
Yeah.
It just so much speaks volumes and moves
David
things forward.
His head over there. Does it? You see that, Dave?
Yep. Yeah, accountability.
Accountability, man.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If I come to you hat in hand, Brandon, and apologize, now it's on you to accept it.
Yeah.
Now, you have to be smart and go, okay, Patrick, I'm going to give you a break. If it happens again, then I know today you weren't genuine and you weren't sincere, and you understand it's probably going to take more than a hit on a relationship. It's probably going to sever it.
Yeah.
And then you move forward.
Yeah.
But, hey, you got to forgive and forget and move forward. Don't be ignorant and not see the future, but we got to be better.
I love it. Yep. Good stuff here. Patrick Highland in studio with us. Alex, BlackBelt Lima. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're going to take a quick break, come back more, and our feel-good story of the day coming up. Pet pirates remove 7 tons of trash from Hungarian lake in plastic picking competition. Feel-good story of the day coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Patrick Highland, our guest expert contributor today, the Sports Zone show 11 to 12 on Sundays right here on 860 The Answer as well. All right, feel good story every day. We like to tell you something positive here.
Tell me something good.
All right, you got pet pirates remove 7 tons of trash from Hungarian lake in plastic picking competition. The Pet Cup competition at Lake Tisa in southern Hungary was a success, with participants known as pet pirates removing over 20,000 pounds, 7 tons of plastic waste from the lake, sponsored by local and large businesses. The event features teams on makeshift barges searching for and collecting plastic trash. The Pet Cup, which began in 2013, aims to inspire residents to keep the lake clean and has expanded to other waterways. There you have it. Feel good story of the day. I like that idea, cleaning up the waterways out there. A couple of hot listings here, and then we're going to go back with Patrick Highland here in studio. A couple of hot listings from the team. This one is on C. Robin Drive, Southeast, St. Petersburg. 3615 C. Robin Drive, Southeast, St. Petersburg. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just shy of 1,500 square foot, remodeled single-family home. You have vinyl flooring throughout, open floor plan. Kitchen has stainless steel appliances, breakfast bar, tiled backsplash, and a large inside laundry room as well. Perfectly situated, 10 minutes from downtown St. Pete and 15 minutes from world-famous Gulf beaches. 3615 C. Robin Drive, South Petersburg, Southeast, that is in St. Petersburg. A beautiful property here from the Platinum MVP team. 105 Lake Tarpon Drive, Unit 26. So that's Lot 26. This is a manufactured home community. You are on Lake Tarpon, though. Pretty cool opportunity to live where you can boat your dock, ramp your dock, boat right in. Easy for me to say, right? 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 740 square feet, 55 plus Lake Tarpon Mobile Home Village. So it needs some TLC. This offers a pool, clubhouse, boat ramp, boat dock. You have club and activities available, golf, shuffleboard, bocce ball, book clubs, and more. 105 Lake Tarpon Drive, Palm Harbor, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, back here in studio, we're talking with Patrick Highland, the Sports Zone. How long have you been doing your sports show now?
Man, 30 years. Can you believe it?
Wow,
Brian?
30 years.
Yeah, I've been on there for 30 years, since 1994.
That's cool, man. That's some longevity there.
Yeah, man. You know,
Very
different
cool.
stations, but, you know, we've been making it happen and having enjoyment, different times, different days, but we have a lot of fun. And, you know, I'm on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning here on AM 860. You know,
Okay.
And you're on Wednesdays after me talking about sports and business.
Kyle
and things.
Warren.
Kyle Warren, baby.
The overnight show.
So congratulations to Cal, doing a great job, and it's fun listening to you after I get off the air on Wednesdays. So
Yeah, he's got that third watch going.
yes, he does. He's doing
And
a
that's
good
an
job.
interesting. That's an interesting hour to be on, right? For hours to be on. What is it? 2 a.m. to 6.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And then it's funny you talked about sports. I noticed that Lake Tarpon Mobile Home Village, they have pickleball courts too. So there you go, man.
Yeah, bocce ball. You know,
Yeah,
they got
bocce ball. I
and-
kid with all my friends. You know, I hope people could take a joke.
Yeah.
I go, pickleball, just call it ping pong outside. That's all.
It's kind of similar.
It really is.
It really is.
But it's
yeah.
fun. It's a, you know what it is?
What?
We're not kids anymore. 55 plus communities. Guess what? It's a little easier to move around at 55 on the pickleball court than the tennis court.
Oh yeah.
I hate to admit it,
It's
but
fun, man.
It's good. It's a
I've
workout.
gotten beat. There's no joke here. Like I play racquetball sometimes
I love that
and
game.
pickleball, but I get beat by older people. I'm talking like plus my senior multiple years, and I get beat by them in those games because it's all about strategy, man. It's not the athletic, how fast you can move here and there. It's the strategy. These guys know how to hit the ball, spin the ball. And they'll put it right on the line or something, you know.
Racquetball, the older guys know how to play the angles.
Yeah.
And then in pickleball, they know how to hit it to the wide side of you. So it's funny how, you know, things can happen. Now, that's the cool thing about your show, Brandon. This is from the heart, man to man. We talk about consumer advocate things, but we also talk about real life things because we're real people.
Yeah.
We're down to earth. If you meet us, what you see is what you get.
That's
and
right.
We're to help. And if we can, great. If we can't, guess what? Maybe down the road we can, or we can help out a friend.
That's right.
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to realize that and believe in that.
Yeah,
you asked
appreciate
me.
that.
You've been doing this for about 15 years now, right, Brandon?
Well, yeah. Well, this year actually gonna be 11. Yeah.
There you go,
So,
man. So
yeah.
you've been at it a while too, man. It's
Yep.
a lot of fun, and we enjoy it, and it's a good way to get out to the public and let them know what we do and help them out.
Yeah.
You got a great bunch of guys that, you know, are affiliated with you. We look for people that really care about other people, or we're not going to recommend them to you. So, you know, everybody that I've ever dealt with in your organization, never have had a problem, man.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
That's huge, man. And other people have told me the same thing, because I think we all have a teamwork. You played ball, I played ball.
Right.
You got to be honest to your teammates and help out your fellow man who's your teammate. I don't want to do anything that would make you look bad, so I'm even going to go the extra mile. Brandon asked me to go see Mrs. Jones. I'm going to even go even harder than I ever have in my life, because I don't want to make him look bad.
Exactly.
And that's what all the partners do here at your organization.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
man.
that's absolutely true, man. You look at the lineup and the roster we have, Alex. We have that roster with everything from self defense with Thomas King, Alex, and his side are there. And then you look at the attorneys we have. You know, absolute great attorneys, man. With Jason Coble, our Rickman.
Frank Charles
Miranda. I mean, we've got great attorneys with the show. Our finance team is amazing as well. So many great auto industry. Martin Grammatic is coming on tomorrow talking about lifeguard imaging, saving people's lives. So many ways we can help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Patrick, thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you, brother. God bless you. And I look forward to having you on the show Sunday with me. And then we'll do this again real soon. Thanks
buddy.
Brandon.
My pleasure. All right. Check us out online, consumerqb.com. You can see their emails there and all of our expert contributors and previous shows. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.